My name is Marcia Aldridge, and I'm the Vice President of Shared Service for IMT Insurance, and we are excited to be an investor. What are we, Dan? We're investors. We're excited about that. This is my first year as a mentor. I wasn't sure what to expect or how I could add value. That quickly changed. I'm excited to introduce Paul Richardson and Tumbleweed. His company hit home with me personally, and after that, I just fell in love with Paul. 20% of the population is projected to be over 65 by 2030. 1 in 5 adults currently care for an aging person. There's a growing need for end-of-life planning and post-loss support. As an HR professional, this impacts my employees directly. Unfortunately, they stay silent until they're in it. Tumbleweed aims to simplify what can be a fragmented and overwhelming experience. The vision is to make these conversations easier and more streamlined. Please join me in welcoming Paul Richardson. I know you will love him and his company as much as I do.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Paul Richardson. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tumbleweed. We're digitizing end of life and bringing support to those who experience loss. I'd like to start with a personal story and introduce you to my Aunt Linda. Aunt Linda passed away in 2022. Her sister, who is my grandmother, was her executor and trustee. Aunt Linda, before she passed, did try and do a little bit of pre-planning, but really looked at more templated forms and didn't work with the experts in this space to prepare. And due to that, unfortunately, nearly half of her estate was actually lost in legal fees. Now, I don't know about all of you, but I really don't want half of my estate going to lawyers. Any of the lawyers in the room, I apologize. Look for another path. So, as Marcia shared, this is really impacting a lot of people. 1 in 5 adults are currently caring for an aging or ailing person in their life, and that means that at every table in here, at least 1, if not 2 people are currently experiencing this. And so this is only going to continue to become more relevant. Although here in the United States, in general, people are living longer, here in the United States, we are not living healthier longer. So that leads us to some of the early stage of Tumbleweed and our product features. And this comes from our customer discovery as well as our conversations with carriers and brokers on what they're looking for and helping to support the individuals. So we offer life planning navigation, and the way we think about it is actually in 3 ways. We think about it in the stages of aging, dying, and also in death. We're in the business of trust, so securing this data of our individuals is of the utmost importance. So we definitely want to keep everything protected at the level of PHI as well as HIPAA, and ultimately have SOC 2 certification. The other piece that we're very excited to talk about is wishes and life stories. This is a true differentiator of anyone in the market. I don't know about all of you, but throughout my life, I've heard different people say things like, I want a celebration of life. I want it on Lake Michigan. I want these 5 songs played. And I don't want my brother there because we haven't talked in over 10 years. But nobody ever writes it down. And then something happens, we haven't experienced a loss. People are like, what did they want? I can't remember. So they actually can document it in Tumbleweed. Digital memorialization is also a piece of the puzzle for us. We want people to live on in perpetuity. Again, as I shared with Aunt Linda, I come to this space from lived experience, and unfortunately, a lot of the systems that exist today are not ideal, and so our memorialization template is far above the average. All of this is backed by 24/7 live customer support. We are not the expert in every space. We partner with the experts, but our team, we're a warm connection in a difficult moment. Very excited to share that our MVP is actually live. We have gone through user testing, and we're already integrating in that feedback into the next version of our product. We also are working with 2 local organizations who are going to be testing this with their employees to help us understand what does the usage look like. Is it 1 in 5? Is it 1 in 3? Is it 1 in 8? Go-to-market strategy. So I know I'm in a room filled with insurance experts, lots of carriers, and you'll notice here that in the phase 3, you'll see a lot about the carrier space. We know it's going to take us time to work through the relationship, improve our product, and so we're creating the pathway to help get to that space. Phase one, leaning in my personal background in employee benefits and actually offering this to employee population as our first go-to-market strategy. Phase two is carriers that see the opportunity in this is to offer it to their employees. It does dual benefit. First, it allows their employees to have another added experience, but also two, they become internal champions. So when we ultimately get to phase three, where this is a value-add product to things like life and pre-need, that actually increases policyholder engagement. You know, a lot of us purchase life insurance, for example, but there's only two interactions. I buy it, and the person passes away. We actually are an experience that's from end to end to help improve that experience and make a connection at the carrier level. Competition, I always joke whenever I bring up this slide. If you would have asked me a year ago if there is competition and also is it good, I would have said, nope, I hate competition and there's no one that does what we do. And there isn't exactly. But the reality is there is competition. And what I've come to realize is that's actually really important because it tells a powerful narrative. It says that there are actually a need for this in the market because these are some very successful organizations that are continuing to come into the market, which means we also have to go faster. You'll notice that they're only focused in 2 of the 4 key areas that are listed here, which again is a huge differentiator for us. And I just want to circle back to this because this is something that in all of our conversations is a piece that sticks out. Yes, we leverage AI. Yes, we leverage machine learning. Yes, we will have chatbots, but we are backed by the human experience. Very excited to share an image of our co-founding team. Between the 3 of us, we have over 60 years of experience in healthcare, technology, and education. And a little shout out to Colleen over there, our Des Moines native. We recently relocated the business here. Couldn't do it without her as well as Keisha, who was out in Los Angeles cheering us along from afar. So I want to stop here for a second and say that we could not have done this without the amazing mentors. A group of 11 mentors we're very excited to be connected with. And for me personally, kind of what I took away from the experience was the power of the ask. If you ask and people are warm, they want to help. And so I want to thank all of my mentors. About half are in the room today. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. So this is the moment. I want you to pull out your phone. We'll take a breath. I'll walk across the stage, give myself some air. Please scan the QR code. Take a look at our website if you're curious what we're actually doing. If you're curious about being a beta partner, there's actually a link on there. And you can also follow us on socials and connect with me on LinkedIn. As you'll see here, we're looking for pilot partners, and we're specifically focusing in the space of life and pre-need as a go-to-market strategy. There's definitely other opportunity, but that's why we want to focus early, as well as I want to talk to additional HR and benefits leaders about the experience for your employees. I thank all of you for being here today. Thank you.